Hey everyone, welcome to our adventure through Scotland, a land of big mountains, sparkling lakes and windy valleys. We're going to travel through thousands of years of history, exploring how Scotland became the unique place it is today. From ancient stones that whisper stories of long ago to impressive castles, Scotland's story is written in stone, sung in songs and told in legends. Come explore this amazing land with us. Our journey starts way back in time, when the first people lived in Scotland. These early inhabitants were pioneers, venturing into a land that was both beautiful and harsh. They had to adapt to the rugged terrain and unpredictable weather, learning to survive in a world that was still recovering from the last ice age. Imagine a world just after the ice age, with hunters and gatherers living off the land. They relied on their skills to hunt wild animals and gather edible plants. Their knowledge of the environment was crucial for their survival, and they developed a deep connection with the land. These early Scots were tough, just like the land itself. They built shelters from natural materials and crafted tools from stone and bone. Their resilience and ingenuity allowed them to thrive in a challenging environment. They left behind clues about how they lived, like burial mounds and mysterious stone circles. These structures were not just functional but also held significant cultural and spiritual meaning. They provide us with a glimpse into the beliefs and practices of these ancient people. The Callanish stones on the Isle of Lewis are a spooky reminder of these ancient times. These standing stones, arranged in a complex pattern, have puzzled archaeologists and historians for centuries. Were they used for astronomical observations, religious ceremonies, or something else entirely? These giant stones, put up thousands of years ago, seem to have secrets. Each stone is unique, and their placement suggests a sophisticated understanding of geometry and astronomy. The effort required to transport and direct these stones speaks to the importance of these sites to the people who built them. Later, people learned how to work with metal, which changed everything. The advent of metalworking marked a significant technological advancement. Bronze, an alloy of copper and tin, was stronger and more durable than stone, allowing for the creation of more effective tools and weapons. We can see this in the fancy bronze tools and weapons they made. These items were not only practical, but also often beautifully decorated, indicating a society that valued both functionality and artistry. The ability to work with metal also led to increased trade and interaction with other cultures. Then came the Iron Age, and people built forts on hills to protect themselves. These hill forts were strategically located to provide defense against invaders and to control the surrounding land. They were often surrounded by ditches and walls, making them formidable strongholds. The Brochs, tall stone towers, are the most famous examples. These impressive structures, unique to Scotland, served as both homes and defensive positions. Their construction required advanced engineering skills and a significant communal effort. But then new people came from the south and east, bringing their own ideas and ways of life. This changed Scotland forever. The arrival of the Celts introduced new technologies, social structures, and cultural practices. This period of cultural exchange and adaptation laid the foundations for the Scotland we know today. About 2,000 years ago, Scotland became a battlefield. This land, with its rugged terrain and misty highlands, was the stage for epic clashes that would shape its history. The first major invaders were the Romans, who came from the south with their well-organized legions and advanced military tactics. They were determined to conquer everything in their path and expand their empire to the farthest reaches of the known world. The Romans came from the south, wanting to conquer everything. They marched in tight formations, their shields and spears glinting in the sunlight, a formidable force that seemed unstoppable. Their arrival marked the beginning of a long and arduous struggle for control over the Scottish lands. Hadrian's Wall shows how ambitious they were and how hard the people of Scotland fought back. This massive stone barrier stretching across the landscape was a testament to the Romans' determination to hold their ground. It also symbolized the fierce resistance they faced from the local tribes, who were not willing to give up their homeland without a fight. Imagine the Roman soldiers fighting against the Picts, the fierce warriors of the north. The Picts, known for their bravery and ferocity, were a formidable opponent. They used guerrilla tactics, ambushing the Roman soldiers in the dense forests and rugged hills, making every inch of progress a costly endeavor for the invaders. The Romans never really conquered the Highlands and eventually left, but they left their mark on Scotland. Their influence can still be seen in the ruins of their forts and the artifacts they left behind. These remnants of the past tell the story of a time when the Romans tried to impose their rule on this wild and untamed land. Then, the Vikings arrived from the sea. These seafaring warriors from Scandinavia were drawn to Scotland by the promise of land and treasure. Their longships, sleek and fast, allowed them to navigate the treacherous waters and launch surprise attacks on coastal settlements. These tough sailors from Scandinavia wanted to take land and treasure. They were relentless in their pursuit, raiding villages and monasteries and taking whatever they could carry. Their arrival brought a new wave of conflict to Scotland, as the local inhabitants struggled to defend their homes from these fierce invaders. Their longships were fast and dangerous. These vessels, with their shallow drafts and sturdy construction, could navigate both open seas and shallow rivers, making them a versatile tool for both exploration and warfare. The sight of a Viking longship on the horizon struck fear into the hearts of those who lived along the coast. Unlike the Romans, the Vikings stayed and built their own kingdoms. They established settlements, intermarried with the local population, and became a part of the fabric of Scottish society. Their influence can be seen in the archaeological remains of their villages and the artifacts they left behind. They were great sailors, artists, and storytellers. The Vikings were not just warriors, they were also skilled craftsmen and traders. Their art and stories have been passed down through the generations, adding to the rich cultural tapestry of Scotland. You can still see their influence today in place names, and even in some people's families. Many Scottish place names have Viking origins, and there are families who can trace their ancestry back to these Norse settlers. The legacy of the Vikings is woven into the very fabric of Scottish history. The Vikings became a part of Scotland, mixing with the Picts and the Gaels. This blending of cultures created a unique and diverse society where the traditions and customs of the Norse, Pictish and Gaelic peoples came together to form the rich heritage that Scotland is known for today. Creating one Scotland took a long time and lots of fighting. The Picts, Gaels and Vikings slowly became one people. By the 11th century, Scotland had a king, but it wasn't easy being in charge. Powerful families in England were always causing trouble. This is when William Wallace became a hero. He fought against the English and won a big battle at Stirling Bridge. Even though he was captured, he inspired others to fight for Scotland. Robert the Bruce then led the Scots to victory at Bannockburn, which finally made Scotland a free kingdom. But the fighting wasn't over yet. Even with all the fighting, Scotland's culture is amazing. The rich history and traditions have been passed down through generations, creating a unique and vibrant culture that is celebrated worldwide. From the rugged highlands to the bustling cities, Scotland's cultural heritage is evident in every corner of the country. Think of bagpipes playing in the valleys and people doing Highland dances. These traditional elements are not just performances, they are expressions of Scottish identity and pride. The sound of the bagpipes can evoke a sense of nostalgia and patriotism, while the energetic Highland dances showcase the strength and agility of the Scottish people. Scottish culture is a mix of old Celtic ways, Viking influences and the tough spirit of its people. The Celts brought their own unique traditions and beliefs which have been preserved and celebrated through festivals and rituals. The Viking invasions left a lasting impact, introducing new customs and artifacts that are still visible today. This blend of influences has created a rich tapestry of cultural heritage that is uniquely Scottish. Bagpipes are a symbol of Scotland, played at happy times and sad times. They are an integral part of Scottish ceremonies, from weddings and celebrations to funerals and memorials. The haunting melodies of the bagpipes can stir deep emotions, making them a powerful symbol of Scottish culture and tradition. And then there's the kilt. This iconic garment is more than just a piece of clothing. It represents Scottish heritage and pride. Each kilt is made from a specific tartan or pattern that is unique to a particular clan or family. It's more than just clothes, it shows family history and pride. Wearing a kilt is a way for Scots to honour their ancestors and celebrate their cultural identity. The intricate patterns and vibrant colours of the tartans tell stories of bravery, loyalty and tradition. Each tartan or pattern tells a story. These stories are passed down through generations, preserving the history and heritage of Scottish families. The tartans are a visual representation of the rich cultural legacy that is cherished by Scots around the world. Scotland also has great stories about the Loch Ness Monster, fairies and witches. These legends are an important part of Scottish folklore, capturing the imagination of people of all ages. The tales of Nessie, the mysterious creature said to inhabit Loch Ness, have fascinated and intrigued visitors for generations. These stories show how connected people felt to the land and the mysterious things in it. The folklore reflects the deep connection between the Scottish people and their natural surroundings, as well as their belief in the supernatural. These tales are a testament to the rich storytelling tradition that is an integral part of Scottish culture. From Gaelic songs to Celtic art, Scottish culture is awesome. The music, art and literature of Scotland are celebrated around the world, showcasing the creativity and talent of the Scottish people. Whether it's the haunting melodies of Gaelic songs or the intricate designs of Celtic art, Scottish culture continues to inspire and captivate audiences everywhere. Scotland has lots of important places and many castles and forts. Edinburgh Castle sits on a big rock and is a symbol of Scotland's capital city. Kings and queens lived there and it's seen lots of important events. Imagine cannons firing, swords clashing and secrets being kept inside those walls. Stirling Castle is another amazing place, important during the wars with England. Kings and queens were crowned there and important decisions were made. But Scotland has more than castles. There are beautiful churches, big houses and small villages, all built with local stone. These buildings, big and small, show how creative and tough Scottish people are. Thanks for exploring Scotland with us. From ancient times to today, Scotland is an amazing place. Its story shows how strong people can be, how they can overcome hard times, and why it's important to remember where you come from. Scotland's story is made up of many different people and cultures. It's a story of toughness and never giving up. See you next time for more adventures around the world.